Welcome to Still Plays Galaxy of Heroes. This is the new account week by week, and same as last week, we are still in the doldrums of these new accounts where not too much is changing week after week. This week we have qualified for all of the assault battles, but we are still yet to win the first tier of any of them. Last week we had unlocked events. We have also unlocked 7-star ships. We have Geospy done. We're about to get Soldier and Sunfac as well. Next week though, week 10, I think we will be beating our first assault battle with the Empire one, because what we have here coming up is Forest Moon, and the Empire squad is my strongest squad. So I'm hoping we get to at least start beating these in week 10. So for this video, I want to check in with all the progress on the squads that we've been building. I just want to show this right here. Been tracking the number of 7-star characters I've been unlocking and the progress on my galactic power week after week. You can see it's fairly constant. There's one jump up here when mods were unlocked. And what we have been doing for the past several weeks is preparing all of our squads for level 85 and for the assault battles and legendaries. And we're making a lot of good progress. We're hitting those level 7 abilities for a lot of the characters, and we're starting to be able to spread out all of our ability materials to other squads. We have all of our geopilots at level 7 abilities, and we're spreading those ability mats now to my squad arena team, and they are starting to filter out to all of these other secondary squads that I'm currently building out. Again, the reason that we're doing this is because of the hyperdrive bundle in my arenas. It doesn't make sense for me to overinvest in my squad arena team. There's no benefit to it. And the big philosophy I have is if you're not getting more resources out of those characters, they're not worth the materials. I can climb up into the 500s at payout, so we're able to get into the next prize tier, and that's really what we're focusing on. We get in the 200 to 500 prize tier. But let me refresh this a couple times so you can get an idea of what we're looking at. We might be too high right now, but if we get into, like you can see there was a level 85 guy there. But once you get into the 500s, it's basically a ton of hyperdrive bundle accounts. Same thing in Fleet Arena. Above level 50, it's all hyperdrive bundle accounts in this shard because of when I started. Again, that was Thanksgiving when the shard economy change happened. A ton of players created new accounts, and a ton of spending players created new accounts. So the strategy I am going after is specifically in response to my arena conditions. I don't recommend this if you have a weak shard. If you have a weak shard, make your arena teams as strong as possible. And I am working on making my fleet arena as strong as possible because that is the easiest source of crystals. I'm hoping to be able to get in the top 50 more consistently. On occasion, I'm able to do it. But we need to increase my crystal income because of what I want to talk about next is it would be very easy to get CLS by level 85, but I don't have the crystals for the Cantina refreshes. So these Cantina farms are not as fast as I would like them to be. So let me show you where I'm at on all of these squads, and I think we're going to wrap it up for this week. So even these characters that are shown at lower stars, I just haven't promoted them. Like Newt is done. Poggle is being farmed with Vulture Droids or IG-2000, so he's making slow progress, but we could finish him in a second with a Galactic War Store if we needed to. But Brood Alpha will be being farmed as soon as he's available so that we can have him at some star count for when Grand Arena starts. Palpatine is at 5, but these both of these troopers are done. I could throw Thrawn in here, but I've actually really liked putting the marked on Stormtrooper from Piet, and I like Range Trooper putting that extra protection up. And I've found that to be a little bit more effective for me than Fracture, surprisingly. Phoenix, now we have shifted a lot of our attention to getting them finished now that I've met the minimum thresholds on all the assault battles. We're progressing well on the Jedi. We have Bastila at 6-star now, but I need to focus again on Ezra. Kanan's done. I am done with Mace, all from Bronziums. I never farmed a shard of him. And then as soon as we have more Cantina resources, which is really what's slowing this account down, Ahsoka would get more attention. We're progressing on the bounty hunters. This is actually one of the slower ones, just because I don't think the bad bounty hunters are worth the resources early on. So I've been farming. I just started farming Jango. Jango could be in here. First Order has been slow just because these 3 guys here are competing for Cantina farms, and my Galactic War is all going towards ships. I spent a bunch of resources to get the Sisters ready for the Telzine event and Ewoks ready for the Wicked event. I want to be getting resources from those immediately. We still haven't figured out the lowest threshold for those events. I just missed out by a couple shards on participating on the Telzine event a week or 2 ago whenever it appeared. And then here are some other separatists. Newt's actually basically done. He's like 10 shards short. And Jango and Droideka here. But let me show... I want to go through the stores and talk about what I'm prioritizing in the stores right now and how my farms have shifted around. So when Cantina got unlocked, we first immediately unlocked Boba Fett because we needed scoundrels for credit heists. You're not given a lot of scoundrels for free to start the game, so having Boba Fett, who is a great one, I wanted him immediately, especially because we had credit heists on the horizon. Then we shifted over to Stormtrooper, which that was just because of the experiment we were pulling on this account, not recommended. Then we shifted to Chopper, which should be the first farm after unlocking Boba Fett. After I got Chopper to 5 stars, we unlocked and farmed up Old Daka to 5. Now we are back on Chopper, and we're going to be... Oh, and before that, we got Ahsoka to 5 stars for Yoda, then shifted back to Chopper. Now we're going to finish off Chopper, shift back to Ahsoka, finish off Ahsoka, and then we're going to get to 5s and bring 5s higher. Old Daka will come after we get 5s, maybe to 5 stars or later. We'll kind of play it by ear from there once we get a decision, once we get a feel for what's effective in Grand Arena. Guild Store, the very first thing I did was Sunfac. Sunfac was a slow, painful farm, but because of how slow and painful he was, we built up a decent amount of Guild Store currency, and I was focusing or farming Logray and Dengar basically whenever they appeared. They don't appear that frequently, so I was able to progress basically on all 3 of those characters while waiting for Sunfac to appear. You can see I'm basically done with Dengar. Logray I think is in the same position. Sunfac is done now. And then I've shifted over to Colonel Stark, Jin, and Young Han. Colonel Stark and Jin are to help out the guild in territory battles. Young Han is so that we can get a smuggler. He's a very quick, cheap farm after these other characters are done in order to start working on those qualifications for the smuggler event and get some extra mods. We have filled out my entire mod inventory, so we need to level up more characters to level 50 so I can throw more mods on. but finding speed secondaries has actually been pretty difficult, especially because we don't want to throw too many credits at those mods. Squad Arena, first thing we did, again, focused on credit heights, making sure we could qualify for them when they first appeared. So I unlocked Stormtrooper Han, I unlocked Greedo just because they were cheap. And then I shifted to Kanan, got Kanan to 5 stars. Then I threw everything at Grand Moff Tarkin for ships. I wanted him done before fleet battles were unlocked, which we did. Then I unlocked Asajj, unlocked Newt, got Asajj up to 5 stars, and then basically finished off Newt. Now the plan is to finish off Kanan, where you can see I brought him up to 6 stars. He'll be done soon. After Kanan is done, it's going to be Leia and Stormtrooper Han. Get those CLS requirements done. The fleet, I'm finishing the top 500s. The fleet farms are going fairly quickly. After those 2 farms are done, it's going to be IG-88 for the ship. Galactic War, we've been throwing everything at ships. We worked on Zeb, we worked on Magma Trooper, and I threw actually some resources at Tebow just to get him up to 4 stars for the Wicked event. Everything else, and Initiate, I threw some stuff on too. I didn't want to, but we did. Cad Bane, same thing for his ship and for the heist. But we have been throwing everything we can at ships, and we were hoarding these materials from basically level 55 to 60 for when ships were unlocked so that we could farm them quickly. Now that I'm about to finish most of the Geo ships, we're going to finish off Zeb as quickly as possible. And then from there, we'll throw more resources on the Imperial TIE Fighter, Clone Sergeant we will also be doing, and then probably Biggs. The only other farms here, I'm going to finish off Cad Bane to get a quick Bounty Hunter finished. Finish off Poggle in here. And then the rest of these farms I'm less concerned about, although K2SO is worth doing to help out in territory battles. Ships is all Geos all the time. Imperial TIE Fighter, when he appears, I'm doing because I'm trying to finish off the Tarkin capital ship, and I'm short on dark side ships. Slave 1 whenever Slave 1 appears, and then Darth Vader whenever he appears. When I have excess currency, like above 2,000, if I see Grievous, I'll pick up a Grievous shard on occasion. But those farms will be focused on more in earnest after I finish these Geo farms. Then it's going to be Ghost and Phantom. But that's how I'm approaching these farms right now. It's really focused all on events and preparing myself for Grand Arena and building out as many of these squads we can before level 85. I want to have a decent amount of roster depth. What's really going to limit the roster depth is going to be credits and ability materials, which is why I'm hoping to get some extra resources out of those assault battles to help progress the roster faster. At least that's the bet we're making. We will see at level 85 whether or not that bet pays off. I think it's debatable. I'm not concerned about other accounts having more developed rosters at the high end, because I'm betting those rosters I don't get matched up with when we hit Grand Arena. So we will see. So thank you for watching. That's been the new account for this week. Next week we should have some more characters to 7 stars, and hopefully we will have beat our first assault battle and start seeing if this strategy pays dividends or not. So thank you. Be safe out there, everyone, and be excellent to each other.